Well, welcome back to Mike Carter Field. Game number 2 getting ready to start here. Dr. John Groth on the play-by-play. Apaches took a 8-7 win in game 1. And we've taken about a 30-minute break or so. And we're back at it here. Let's go through the starting lineups. For the visitors, they're now 0-1 on the year. The Frank Phillips Plainsmen led by second-year head coach David Diaz. Here's what Coach Diaz has for game 2. Leading off in left field is Mark Zamora. Batting second is second baseman Tommy Tolf. Batting third, the catcher, Ricardo Leonette. Batting cleanup is the right fielder, Yadier Medina. First baseman is now Harold Calero, getting his first look for the 2019 season in the 5 spot and playing first base. DH is Nicholas Ramos. He'll get the start here in the second game. Shortstop is Edgar Hernandez, batting 7th. Darren Zarillo back at third base. He'll bat 8th here in this one. And Christian Mendez back in center field and batting 9th for Coach David Diaz and the Plainsmen. On the mound for the Plainsmen, right-hand sophomore Tanner Bercier. Bercier gets the start for Frank Phillips. Defensively for the Apaches, Eric Owen in left, Jacob Johnson in center, Fiver Trimble back in right field. Around the infield, Ty Meisner at third, Tyler Griffin at short, Seth Ballinger back at second, Mike Morissette at first base. A new catcher, Kendall Price, behind the plate. And on the mound, the right-handed sophomore from Conroe Oak Ridge High School, 6'2" and 205, Jacob Blatney. So Blatney gets his second start of the 2019 season. Give you some numbers on him momentarily. And there's the 7:04 right on time. First pitch from Blatney at 7:04. We're underway. Game 2 of the doubleheader. This is a scheduled 9-inning ball game. Apaches won game 1 8-7 with a walk-off walk to Eric Owen to keep their record unblemished at 5-0. The 0-1 pitch in their first strike. Quickly 0-2 on Mark Zamora. Zamora led off the first ball game with a single to center. He was 2 for 3 in the ball game. Back in left field and back in that leadoff spot. The 0-2. High, ball 1. Well, this is the first action for Kendall Price of the year. For Blatney, 1 appearance, 1 start, 3 innings pitched. There's a base hit to left. He does the same thing here in game 2. Leads the game off with a base hit. There goes the no-hitter. So Zamora is aboard, and here is Tommy Tolf. Tolf was 2 for 4 in game 1. A couple of singles and an RBI and a run scored. Not a bad start to the 2019 season for the second baseman. In 3 innings of work last weekend, Blatney struck out 6, walked 5, gave up 2 earned runs. Fastball misses up, 1 ball, no strikes. Well, you like the strikeout numbers in 3 innings. You don't like 5 walks in 3 innings. And the Apache pitchers last weekend benefited from a lot of runs. They walked too many batters. And against some of these better squads that they're going to play this season, almost walking 1 per inning, that just will not win a whole lot of baseball games. 1-0 pitch is low. It's 2-0. Well, the temperature has dropped to 58 degrees now, and the wind has shifted a bit. It's at east-northeast now. Now the blankets are coming out. The 2-0 pitch. Well, kind of a delayed strike call, but nonetheless, it's 2-1. Zamora, Tolv, and then Leonette here in the first for the Frank Phillips Plainsmen. Coming off a 19-36 season last year, 14-22 in their conference. Blatney's going to wear out Morissette over there. Kind of trying to control that running game. 0-1 after the first game lost today. These two will square off tomorrow at noon. 12 o'clock single 9-inning game. Be the final game of the 3-game series. Plainsmen will get back on that bus and 475 miles back to Borger, Texas. About 7.5 hours of driving. The 2-1 pitch in there for a strike. It's 2-2. Borger just about a little less than an hour north and east of Amarillo, up in the Panhandle. We've got a lot of Plainsman parents here today. A lot of Apache parents. Good crowd on hand here for a Friday evening in East Texas. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball to third. Miser's going to have to make the long throw, and he does for out number 1. Took that ball right behind third base and made a strong throw over to Morissette. Zamora will go to second base with 1 out, and here is Ricardo Leonette. And what did Leonette do in the first inning last ball game? But hit a 2-run homer in his first at bat in the first inning. So similar scenario as he had in game 1. Blatney from the stretch. Time is called. First pitch. And that ball is blocked, and now you got a run down at second, and Jacoby, that's Ballinger that dropped it. So the catcher, that's going to be an E2. Or I'm not E2, E4, sorry. Dropped the ball. Well, what happened there is Kendall Price, the catcher, blocked it, and Zamora took off for third, and then he stopped, and he went so far that there was a rundown ensuing, but Seth Ballinger dropped the throw from Price, and on to third base will go Zamora. I'm going to write, it's got to be an error. He just dropped it. If he hadn't have dropped it and just beat it, it would have been a stolen base. But I'm going to believe that if Ballinger catches that ball, it's going to be an easy out at third. But I don't know how easy it would have been, but it would have probably been an out. So 2 balls and a strike with 1 out. Runner at third now for Frank Phillips here in the top of the first. This is a scheduled 9-inning ball game. And first pitch was at 7:04. We'll see if we can get out of here before 10 o'clock, but I'm not holding my breath on it. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Didn't have a 0 on the board in game 1 until the 4th inning. Both teams put up some offense in that one. Ground ball through the left through the 6 hole, and it's 1-0 Frank Phillips. They jump out again here in game 2. RBI single for Ricardo Leonette. And it's 1-0. A single and a ground out, a dropped ball by Seth Ballinger. And here is Yadier Medina, the right fielder, for the first time here in game 2. He did play in game 1, swung on, fouls it straight back. Medina in game 1 was 1 for 4 with a double and a run scored. And he'll hold down that cleanup spot for the 2nd game in a row for Coach Diaz. Look out, little chin music there from Blatney. And Blatney has been wild here in the early going. One is the count, the pitch. Another ball in the dirt, and Price is earning his money early here. Kendall Price seeing his first action of the season. Here's the 2-1 pitch. In there for a strike, 2-2. Here's the 2-2 from Blatney. Swing and a miss. Gets his first strikeout of the night. And there's 2 away here in the first inning. That's going to bring up first baseman Harold Calero. So Solero did not play in game 1. First at bat of the season for him. Big swing right there. And there's an 0-1 count on Harold Solero. Next pitch just off the plate. Ball 1 strike. Listed on their roster as a sophomore from Patterson, New Jersey. One is the count, the pitch. Look out. And he had an elbow guard that I think got knocked off. When it hit him, you thought it, I don't know what you thought because you saw things flying around there. And initially, my thought was it broke the bat, but it was his elbow guard. And coach is going to come in and check out that left arm. Our training staff's going to head over there, make sure he's okay. So many of these guys now wear those arm guards. If you didn't have that arm guard on, I can promise you that would have hurt a lot more. Still pretty painful as they're checking his left arm out. That's the front arm for that right-hand batter. Solero. Looks like he's got some pretty good range of motion there. I think he's going to be all right. A little surprised if there's anything change him staying in the ball game here. Did not get to play in game 1. And he's fine, shaking his head. Yeah, I'm good. And he's going to run down to first base. So he'll get a nice round of applause. You never like to see anyone get hit by a pitch, much less get hurt. First and second with 2 outs, and here's Nicholas Ramos, the DH. Ramos did not play in game 1 either. So you got a couple of new faces in the lineup for Coach Diaz. 2 outs and 2 aboard. The pitch. Misses off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Like Blatney wanted that pitch called a strike. Kind of looking at the umpire and then glancing into the dugout. Ramos last year, a 300 hitter. 5 doubles, 2 homers, 19 RBI. That ball's fouled back off to the right side. 1 ball, 1 strike. 30 hits and 100 at-bats, 27 runs scored. Again, 5 doubles, 2 homers, 19 RBI for the DH, Nicholas Ramos. Fernando Maldonado DH'd in the first game. 1-1 pitch, high left field, but not very deep. And this is going to be caught by Eric Owen for out number 3. F7 if you're scoring at the house. The Apaches do give up a run on 2 hits. We'll head to the bottom half of inning number 1, where the Apaches will get their first look at Tanner Bercier. when we come back. All right, let's bring you back a little early, go through this Apache starting lineup here in Game 2. Leading off is the second baseman, Seth Ballinger. Batting second, the third baseman, Ty Meisner. Batting third, the center fielder, Jacob Johnson. Batting cleanup, the right fielder, Fiver Trimble. Batting in the 5 position, first baseman, Michael Morissette. Batting sixth, the DH, Jason Ballou. Batting seventh, left fielder, Eric Owen. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Tyler Griffin. And batting ninth, the catcher, Kendall Price. Defensively for the Frank Phillips Plainsmen, out in left field is Mark Zamora. Christian Mendez back in center. Yadier Medina back in right field. Darren Zerillo at third. Edgar Hernandez at short. Tommy Tolv at second. And at first base here in Game 2 is Harold Solero. Behind the plate, Ricardo Leonette. On the mound, right-hand sophomore from Alberta, Canada, Tanner Bercier. Bercier on the mound, the right-hander from Alberta, Canada. Here goes the throw down. 1-0 as Frank Phillips has jumped out as they did in Game 1. They scored 2 runs in the first inning in Game 1, a 2-run homer by Leonette. This time it's an RBI single by Leonette. So Ballinger's going to lead it off. Game 1 for Seth, 1 for 4, single to left and a run scored for the Apaches second baseman. Started in center field last week in the opener. Coach Wren's got him in at second base now. Here's the pitch. First pitch. That ball got by the catcher. Mr. Umpire looking back. 1 ball, no strikes. Going from the windup, Bercier. And boy, catcher's having trouble catching the ball. Leonette catching back-to-back ball games here right out of the chute for Coach Diaz and the Frank Phillips Plainsmen. Wind up in the 2-0. Line shot, 3 hoppers short, backhanded by Hernandez. Throws to first, and he was juggling the ball. I'm going to score a hit. I don't know, banger at first. That's one thing. One of those that could go either way. I'm going to give it a single. 1B6. So Ballinger's aboard for the second. Well, let's see. He did not lead the game off last game with a hit or a get on base, but this time he does. So he's at first with nobody out. Here's Ty Meisner. And Meisner in Game 1. 1 for 3 with a walk and a single to left field. He led off and scored the game-winning run on a bases-loaded walk. That's a swing and a miss, and it gets by the catcher. And boy, I tell you, Leonette's having trouble catching the ball here early on. was another fastball, just glanced off his glove. So down to second goes Ballinger. I'm going to call it a pass ball. Meisner took a kind of a halfway check swing, but definitely went through. It's 0-2. The pitch. Off the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mercier, the right-handed sophomore from Alberta, Canada. Now that on the pregame interview from Coach Diaz, felt like he was a pretty good arm, upper 80s, low 90s guy. High chopper, and this is now the third baseman, and he'll throw it across for the out. Zerillo had to cut off Hernandez to make that play, and he did. 5-3 if you're scoring at the house. Ballinger goes to third with only 1 out, and here is Jacob Johnson. Johnson in game 1, 3 for 3. A single and 2 doubles, a run scored, and a walk. He continues to be very productive for Coach Wren in this Apache lineup. He was a leadoff hitter in the first series of the year, and Coach Wren's got him down in there in the 3 spot for the second game in a row. It's exactly where you want him, as long as your table setters get on base for him. Here's the 1-0. Shallow left field, and Zamora catches it, and he'll throw it to the plate. Not deep enough to score Ballinger, and there's 2 away. And here's Fiver Trimble with 2 outs. Well, what did Fiver do in his first at-bat but hit a 3-run homer? Had 4 RBIs for the ball game, 1 for 3. Did lay down a sac bunt in the 7th. Ballinger's at third with 2 outs in a 1-0 ball game. Ball's in the dirt, ball 1. Tanner Mercier on the mound. Fly ball center field, plenty of room for Christian Mendez out there. He comes in and makes the easy catch for the final out. The Apaches get Ballinger on, get him over to third, but can't get him in. We'll head to the second inning. Your score from Mike Carter Field in Tyler, Texas. Welcome aboard. It's 1-0. Frank Phillips. Seven, 8, and 9 for the Plainsmen. This is Edgar Hernandez. the 7:27 right on time. 1 ball, 1 strike to Edgar Hernandez. Shortstop, batting in the 7 spot for the Plainsmen. Popped him up. And who's going to call it? It's going to be Ballinger, and he dropped it. Well, you could tell there was a little miscommunication from the get-go there, and that was Ballinger's ball all the way. That's an E4. And just, there is no wind, so that's just a miss right there. E4 if you're scoring at the house, and boy, you just hate to have that start the inning off. Here's Darren Zerillo, the third baseman. First pitch in there, strike 1. Zerillo in game 1, 0 for 1 with a walk and an RBI. He walked with the bases loaded. He laid down a sac bunt, but he also struck out. 0-1 off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. We're at the 8th spot in the Frank Phillips lineup. Zerillo batted 9th in game 1. He's bumped up 1 spot here in game 2. Christian Mendez, who batted 7th in game 1, is down to the 9 spot. Here's the 1-1. Look out, fouled off the net. Straight back to our right here a little bit. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Frank Phillips, a couple of base hits in the first inning off of Jacob Blatney. 1 run on 2 hits. Apaches no runs on 1 hit. Blatney comes set. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Big hack right there by the Plainsman third baseman. He's down on strikes. That's the 2nd strikeout for Blatney. Here's Mendez, Christian Mendez, the center fielder. Running balls down in center all night. Get his first at bat against Jacob Blatney here in game 2. Apaches won game 1, 8-7 on a walk-off base on balls. Issued to Eric Owen by Armando Valle. Frank Phillips has taken a 1-0 lead early here in game 2. We're in the top of the 2nd. We'll have a single 9-inning game tomorrow. 12 noon start for that. We'll be on the air 11:45 with the pregame show. Talk to both head coaches about today's doubleheader. One ball, 1 strike to Christian Mendez. Jacob Blatney comes set. Runner going, little looper into right center, base hit. And scooting over to third base is going to be Hernandez. So Frank Phillips got something brewing here in the 2nd inning. A little hit and run, well executed. Hernandez off with the pitch. Mendez did a good job of kind of flipping his hands out there and looping it into right field for a single. Back to the top of the lineup we go. Here's Mark Zamora. Single to left his first time up. 1 for 1. First pitch is in there, strike 1. Jacob Blatney. Runners on the corners. Snap a pickoff over to Morissette. Trying to keep Mendez, who probably going to have a tendency to run here. Last year, Mendez, 20 steals in 27 attempts. Boy, swing and a miss. Got him to go fishing on that one. And it's 0-2. We saw Zamora in his first at-bat of the ball game get behind Blatney and ended up winning that battle. Base hit to left field. 0-2 pitch coming up. Here it is. Off the plate. Runner's going, throw to second, and it's not in time. So it's a stolen base for Mendez. So you got second and third, still only one out. And Mark Zamora, who has 3 hits so far in this doubleheader, chance to give the Plainsmen more of a lead. They lead at 1-0. Here's the 1-2. Had a notion, but held off. Sails high on the fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Blankets are starting to come out here at Mike Carter. Temperature's going to drop throughout this ball game. Blatney comes set, hands in front of the chest. 2-2 pitch. And Zamora battles that fastball and fouls it off. Down to 57 now. Little by little. My prediction is we'll be in the 40s before this one's over. 2-2. And another good job of fighting off a fastball. And Zamora's hanging tough. He's a scrappy hitter. Seen him got a couple of base hits in that first game. One to center, one to right. And his first at bat in this ball game, he hit a base hit to left. So hitting it to all fields. 2-2 pitch. Another foul ball. Price could not hold on to it. Went off his shin guard and rolls down into the Apache dugout. 1-3-0 for Frank Phillips. 0-1-2 for the Apaches. Two-two pitch. Boy, right in on the hands, and he battles that one, fighting off pitch after pitch. Is Mark Zamora, the left fielder. Friday, February 1st. Two balls and 2 strikes. Chop foul down the third base line, out of play. We'll do it again. Next pitch is off the plate, a fastball. And he's worked it to full count. Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. 2 runners on for the Plainsmen. The pitch. Lined up the middle, and Griffin had it go through him. It's going to be an error, and 2 runs are going to come home. That throw from center, not close. So it will be an error on Griffin, and the defense is really hurting the Apaches here in game 2. I'm going to score an error. I don't know. Don't think it was a hit. Both those runs come home. Now, there's a second error on the play because of an errant throw by center fielder Johnson. So Apaches 4 errors now in the first 2 innings. And that's going to bring a visit from Coach Rippenthal. And he's going to go out and just settle down Blatney because, boy, Blatney has certainly deserved a better fate here. Arguably could be out of the inning at this point, as Seth Ballinger dropped a pop-up, and that was 1 out. That was the leadoff hitter of the inning. And a strikeout, and now that ball right there would have been the third out of the inning. So just got to take a deep breath here and keep throwing strikes, and hopefully your defense can start shoring things up a bit here. It's 3-0 Frank Phillips here in the second inning. They scored one in the first, now two more here in the second inning. And another runner in scoring position for Tommy Tolve. Big swing and a miss, strike one. Well, one of the problems when you have challenging defense here is that now your pitchers feel like they got to strike everyone out. Just get a little too fine, and hopefully Blatney can continue to just pound the zone a little bit, and he hit him. So it goes from bad to worse here. Tolve gets hit by a pitch. First and second, still 2 outs. An ugly inning for the Apaches. Well, it's right. There is only 1 out. I'm thinking there should be 3 outs. The only out is a strikeout of Zarillo. So you're right. Only 1 out in the inning. First and second. And here is Ricardo Leonette, and he's a dangerous hitter. Pops up the first pitch, and this is going to be Griffin calling him off, and shortstop Tyler Griffin will take it for out number 2. So now there's 2 outs. Leonette, a little aggressive, popped up the fastball. Here's Yadier Medina. He struck out swinging in the first inning. Blatney has struck out 2 Plainsmen so far. First inning and 2/3. The pitch. In on the hands, fouled off, and gets just over that net. Two outs and 2 Plainsmen aboard, first and second. And, boy, nice block right there by the catcher. Kendall Price is getting his first action of the season. Blatney looks in for the sign. Comes set. Here's the 1-1. Off the plate, 2-1. Two outs and 2 aboard, the pitch. And, boy, that's going to be a pass ball, as Price just missed it. Not sure. Boy, just lots of defensive miscues in this inning. They're adding up, and now you got 2 more runners in scoring position after the pass ball. 3-1 is the count on Yadier Medina. Blatney comes set. The pitch. Off the plate. Now you got to walk, and the bases are loaded. And that's going to be the first walk of the game. Here's the 8th batter of the inning, Harold Solero, first baseman. And Solero got hit by a pitch his first time up. He did not play in game 1, so he still does not have an official at bat 2019 season. He's got a golden opportunity to open this thing up. Now Blatney's going to step off. Try to get him and Kendall Price on the same page here. Here's the windup and the pitch. Off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, you got bases loaded, so the good news is you got force plays all around the diamond. But the Apache defense has really let them down this inning. 1-0 pitch in there for a strike. It's 1-1. And Jacob Blatney has hit a batter and walked a batter. So everybody's had their moment this inning, it seems like. Dropped a pop-up. Missed the ball on the infield. A walk, a hit batter. 2 runs have come in. Trying to get out of damage and limit here. You can try to minimize right here if you can. Ball was in the dirt. Price does a good job of blocking it and preventing the run from coming in. Zamora at third, Tolv at second, Medina at first. Blatney has his sign. 2-1 pitch. And it got him. I heard it. Exactly. It hit him. I could hear it from up here. I heard it. It was a delayed call. I don't think there's any question here. Coach Wren, I think, is going to come out and ask about this, but I could hear it from up here. It was a delayed call. I'm not sure. That's what got this umpire in trouble here. The fans didn't like it, but I could hear it from here. And so it hit something. You could hear it tick something. And Coach Wren's is frustrated. This is easily the ugliest inning of the early season when you're 5-0. And, boy, you hit a guy and another run comes in. Solero's going to get an RBI out of that. And it's now 4-0. So now, here's Nicholas Ramos. Ramos flew out to left field in his first at bat. And well, you just got to take a deep breath here if you're Blatney and try to work your way through this. And again, continue to try to minimize this inning. None of these runs are going to be earned, I don't think. 2 outs, the pitch. Eno on the hands. He's done a good job with that pitch, that inside fastball. A lot of these Frank Phillips batters have had trouble getting to the inside fastball. No balls, 1 strike. 2 outs, bases loaded. 3 runs have scored here in this inning. Blatney from the stretch now. 9th batter of the inning. Missed high. 1 ball, 1 strike. DH, Nicholas Ramos. Chance to open this thing up here early for the Plainsmen. This is a 9-inning game, so the Apaches have plenty of ball game ahead of them, but try to minimize here if you can. Swing and a miss. Healthy cut right there by Ramos makes it 1-2. Blatney with his sign. Comes set. The pitch. Swing and a miss, and he got him. So 9 batters come to the plate for the Frank Phillips Plainsmen, and they score 3 runs on 1 hit, and that's what hurts you here, as they didn't really earn any of those. And so all those runs this inning, 3 of them, all unearned, as they bring 9 batters to the plate. We'll head to the bottom of the second. Your new score for Mike Carter: Frank Phillips 4 and Tyler 0. Welcome back to Mike Carter Field. Dr. John Groth with you. 5, 6, and 7 for the Apaches. Morissette, Ballou, and Owen scheduled to hit. They're going to chasing a 4-run deficit here in this one. They were down 4 in game 1, 7-3. Came back to win 8-7. But they're going to need to shore up the defense a bit here. Morissette swing and a foul tip. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Jacob Blatney threw 2 innings, already 61 pitches. Ground ball up the middle, and shortstop Hernandez catches, throws, and first baseman could not take it. That's an infield single for Morissette. Boy, nice job by Hernandez to even get a glove on it and make a throw. If Solero had held on, it would have potentially been a web gem right there. As is, I'm scoring it a 1B6. That's what you need there. You need base runners to start getting this thing going here. Here's Jason Ballou, the designated hitter. So Morissette, his first hit of the night, he was 0 for 3 in game 1. Actually, 0 for 2 with a sac fly. It's a wild pitch that gets away from Leonette. And boy, we've seen our share of balls get away from him and Tanner Bercier. So wild pitch moves Morissette to second base. Nobody out, so let's try to chip away if you're the Apaches. 1-0 pitch. Off the plate. 2 balls, no strikes. Four, 3-0 for Frank Phillips. 0-2-4 for the Apaches. 4 errors here in the first 2 innings of play. Outside corner called a strike. It's 2-1. See if we have any. Check the scoreboard here. See if we got any other ball games that have posted scores today in Region 14. Two balls and 1 strike. Now it's 3-1. Now let's just see here. Today is the 1st of February. Looks like Navarro defeated Temple 9-5. Maybe the only one posted so far. Fouled straight back. Good cut there by Ballou, and it's a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Western Texas at Alvin. Cowley at Northeast Texas. Of course, Navarro defeated Temple. Eastern Oklahoma State at Panola. Weatherford at Angelina. Wharton is at Baton Rouge Community College. A foul ball at home plate. We'll do it again. Murray State is at Coastal Bend. That game's going on right now down in Beeville. Galveston at Seward Community College. And Paris and LSU Eunice going at it tonight down in Eunice, Louisiana. Apaches will play a 6-game series against the Bengals from LSU Eunice later on this season. 3-2 pitch. Well hit center field. That's a base hit. Morissette is going to be sent home. Here's the throw to the plate and slides around the tag. He's safe. It's an RBI single for Jason Ballou. He'll go to second on the throw. So Ballou with an RBI. Morissette scores the Apaches' first run of the night. It's 4-1. So that's what you got to do right here. Just kind of chip away. And here's Eric Owen, first time tonight against Tanner Bercier. Not many scores posted in Region 14 at this point. Take a peek at Region 5 here in a minute. 4-1 now is our score. Fastball, called a strike. Oh and 1 on Eric Owen. The pitch. Swing and a wild pitch that gets away from Leonette. And over to third goes Ballou. That's going to be a wild pitch to move Ballou to third. So, looking on the Region 5 scoreboard for today, Cisco 10-1 winner over Wayland Baptist. Richland 14-3 winners over Dallas Christian JV. Hill 8-6 winners over Eastfield. The next pitch that's a fair ball down the line. Eric Owen, RBI single, and he'll head for two. He'll get a double out of it. And just like that, it's 4-2. This is exactly what the Apaches needed. RBI double off the bat of Eric Owen scores Ballou. Going right down the line. Third baseman Darren Zarillo dove for it, and it got by him. Way to make a play on that. He gave a good effort. Stepping in this is Jacoby Bogue now. So Bogue's going to, Griffin will not get an at bat. Bogue's going to come in and bat for Griffin. So Bogue now will take over at short for Tyler Griffin, and he'll bat for Griffin right here in the 8th spot, first time through the lineup. So Bogue will step in with a runner at second in a 4-2 ball game. Well, let's see here. Northeast Texas 10-1 winners over Weatherford. And then in the nightcap, Weatherford wins 11-6, so they split a doubleheader. Heston College defeated Richland 16-13. You know what? Well, I figured something. This is the schedule's not updated. The scores are not this season, so erase all those Region 5 scores I've just been reading to you. I'm looking at the date here, and it's last spring, so they have not, for whatever reason, have not updated their website yet. The only thing is updated as the standings. 1-1 is the count. Jacoby Bogue will get his first at bat of the day. He did get some playing time last weekend. Pull those numbers up here momentarily. Bogue was 0 for 3 last weekend, so still looking for his first hit of the season. Here's a 1-1. And he hit him right between the twos. And this is what the Apaches need as base runners, so Jacoby's okay. He's going to run down to first. Stepping in for the first time this season is Kendall Price. Tying run at first base here. Still nobody out. You might have Kendall Price lay a bunt down here. Be awful tempted. Apaches have strung together 3 hits and a hit batter. Morissette led the inning off with an infield single. Then it was Ballou with an RBI single. RBI double by Owen, and then Bogue just got hit. First pitch, low, ball 1. Kendall Price, freshman from Forney, Texas, 6'1" and 190. Here's the 1-0. Fly ball, shallow right center field. Medina in right. Now it's going to be Mendez in center making the catch for the first out of the inning. So I'd like to have a more productive out than that, as the base runners will have to stay where they're at. Top of the lineup now, Seth Ballinger. Ballinger, an infield single his first time up, 1 for 1. Would have loved to have moved those runners somehow to the top of the lineup. Ballinger will have to go to work here with first and second and 1 out. Apaches have already scored 2 runs in the inning. Tanner Bercier on the mound for the Plainsmen. The pitch. Misses low, ball 1. Ty Meisner waits on deck for the Apaches. The 1-0. Up the middle, base hit. And 1 run's going to come home. Here's the throw, and that will go to second base. And it's 4-3 on the RBI single by Seth Ballinger. Ballinger now 2 for 2. Continues to swing a hot bat as Owen comes scurrying home for the 3rd run of the inning. Here's Ty Meisner. 2 on, and I don't know what happened there. Well, got an injury out there. Was it the shortstop? Might have turned his ankle, or they're holding up his left leg. Might be just stretching it. Might have a cramp in his hamstring. That's kind of what it looks like. Type of stretching he's doing with that left leg. Yeah. Coach is telling someone to get loose. That may or may not be able to keep going here, but boy, it's kind of odd to get cramps on a cool night like today. It's not a day where you're sweating a lot. That's typically the days where you see guys cramp up. Well, I'm not sure what the Apache trainers out there attending to. He's back on his feet, so it probably was a cramp. That left leg hamstring looks like it. He's hopping on it, seeing if he can go. Well, there's nothing worse than cramping up and kind of wondering if that thing's going to cramp again, boy. Ugh, had that happen before. Those things are painful. He's going to stay out there, I think. And we got finally someone checking in on the live chat. CJ Gallen. Not sure where CJ's watching from, but wishing good luck to somebody. Let us know who you're rooting for and where you're watching from. Love to hear from you. Give you a shout out on the broadcast. Pretty amazing technology. We've had viewers from Europe and China, literally all over the world at times during our broadcast. So it's kind of cool what the internet can do here. We'd love to hear from you. Appreciate CJ checking in. 1 out and 2 aboard for the Apaches. Ball in the dirt. Meisner takes ball 1. Well, Ricardo Leonette is going to be a tired guy by the end of this game. He has been blocking and blocking and blocking. He and Tanner Bercier just have not been able to kind of sync up here so far. 1-0 pitch. Off the plate, 2-0. And Bercier is moving towards the middle of this Apache lineup. And it's a 4-3 ball game. The pace of this game is pretty slow at this point. The pitch. Off. Now called a strike. Mr. Umpire's got a delayed strike call. 2-1 with 1 out. We started this game at 7:04 Central Time here in Tyler, Texas. It's 8:01, and we're in the second inning. So, see if we can get done by 11. How's that? That pitch missed. 3 balls, 1 strike. Well, if Meisner should reach, it would be Jacob Johnson with the bases loaded. Three-one count now. Mercier is going to step off. And there's somebody else checking in. All right, Frank Phillips fans from Canada checking in. There's a strike called as Meisner thought he might have had ball 4. All right, some Frank Phillips folks checking in. Appreciate that. Angleton, Texas. Miss Butterfield, Melissa, thanks for checking in. And got a fan from Manitoba, Winnipeg. So appreciate you checking in. Little chopper, left side, going to throw to second for 1. You get that runner, and there's 2 outs. So probably the best decision that Hernandez could make was take the out at second. Ballinger's out at second base. And going over to third is Bogue. So now you got first and third. Meisner reaches on the fielder's choice on a 6-4. And that'll bring up Jacob Johnson. And I'll tell you what, very careful at bat here. I'd be careful with Mr. Johnson. I know we're early in the ball game, but I think I might rather have a right-on-right matchup against Fiver than go at Johnson here. First pitch, outside corner, strike 1, and Jacob thought it might have been outside. Well, Meisner's at first. You might think about trying to sneak him over to second here. But with Johnson up, I might leave him there. Got a big hole on the right side. And Johnson can find a gap, and that'd be another run. 0-1 pitch off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Trying to get Jacob to go fishing there, and he wasn't biting. 1-1 with 2 outs. Meisner at first, Bogue at third. Johnson flew out to left field in his first at bat. 1-1 pitch. Off the plate, 2-1. His first at bat was an RBI situation. Just didn't get that fly ball to left deep enough for Ballinger to tag up. Another 2-out RBI scenario here for Johnson. Apaches, this is the 8th batter of the inning. Scored 3 runs. The pitch. Low. 3-1. Well, you can understand why they're being very careful with Jacob Johnson. He was 3 for 3 in game 1. Came in hitting .500. Amherstburg, Ontario, Canada. We got all kinds of Plainsman fans checking in. Ground ball to second. This should do it. And you flip it to short, and there's your inning. Nice job over there by Tolve to flip it over to Hernandez. 4-6 on that putout. That'll end the inning, but the Apaches bring 8 batters to the plate in the second inning. They end up scoring 3 runs on 4 hits. They leave 2 on. We'll head to the third inning. Your new score from Mike Carter Field in Tyler, Texas. Frank Phillips 4 and Tyler 3. Back in just a minute on ApacheAthletics.com. Seven, 8, and 9 for the Plainsmen. Hernandez, Zerillo, and Mendez will come to the plate against Jacob Blatton. He threw 36 pitches last inning, 61 for the game here in 2 innings. Both these pitchers' pitch counts elevated. A 31-pitch second inning for Bercier. He's sitting on 42 right now through 2 innings. 1 ball, no strikes to Edgar Hernandez. He had cramps. Look out. That bat is flying into the net, into the dugout. Golly, it hit somebody. Helicoptered into the net right above the Plainsman dugout, and then it hit that net and fell straight into the dugout. Somebody tosses it back to Edgar Hernandez. Guess everyone's okay over there. It's kind of dangerous. 1-1 pitch inside, 2-1. Appreciate the comments as Mr. Solero's checked in. Hopefully he's saying that right, Solero. And Rob Taylor checking in from Amherstburg, Ontario, Canada. Fastball in there for a strike, 2-2. We've heard from nobody but Plainsman fans so far. Any Apache fans out there, but checking in on, go ahead and check in on that live chat. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody on, nobody out. Top of the third. This is a 9-inning ball game tonight. Swing and a miss. Got him. Strikeout number 3 for Jacob Blatney. And there's one down here in the third. Here he is, Darren Zerillo, struck out. He was the second strikeout victim. No, excuse me, that's not right. 1, 2, 3, that's 4. Strikeout number 4 for Blatney. Zerillo did strike out in his only at bat back in the second inning. Plainsman brought 9 batters to the plate in their second inning. Apaches had 8. Appreciate the shout-outs on the live chat feature. It's always interesting to see who's watching and who you're rooting for. Let us know who you're rooting for and where you're watching from. We're here in Tyler, Texas at Mike Carter Field on the East Texas Rose City Complex. Check swing did not go. And it's 3-0. Right adjacent to the Tyler Rose Garden. Harvey Convention Center back behind us. And off to our right is the Rose Football Stadium, Trinity Christus Mother Francis. 3-0 pitch. It's in there for a strike, 3-1. Mike Carter Field, built back in 1938. It's part of the WPA project. Was renovated in the early 90s. And 3 years ago, artificial turf was put in here. In there for a strike, it's 3-2. Zerillo thought he might have had ball 4 and started walking towards first. There's some Apache fans. Swing and a miss. He got him. Back-to-back strikeouts for Blatney as he starts to find a bit of a rhythm. Strikeout number 5 for Jacob. 2 up, 2 down here in the third. Here's Christian Mendez, the center fielder. Singled to right field his first time up. So appreciate Jonathan Ortega checking in from Mineola. And Charcer Burks. I can't do Bugs Bunny, sorry. Little tapper foul. And appreciate Jonathan checking in. A couple of Apache fans. I don't know if Charcer Burks is from Apache fan. Chris Bercier. Am I saying Bercier right? Swing and a miss. Quickly now, 0-2. Frank Phillips fan watching from LaSalle, Manitoba, Canada. So we got some international viewers today. Appreciate you checking in, Plainsman fans. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck out the side. And Blatney starts finding a rhythm here in inning number 3. Strikeouts number 4, 5, and 6 for Jacob. It's a scoreless 3 up, 3 down, third inning. The Apaches will come to the plate, and it'll be 4, 5, and 6. Trimble, Morissette, and Ballou when we return. Frank Phillips leads this ball game 4-3. We're in the bottom of inning number 3. A lot of offense in both of these ball games, as neither of these pitching staffs have been able to put too many zeros on the board. But Jacob Blatney just put a donut up there, striking out the side. And it's Fiver Trimble to lead it off. Flew out to center field his first time up. A 0-1 pitch. Pop up right side out of play. It'll be 0-2 on Trimble. Frank Phillips, volunteer coach, watching. Darby Walker, appreciate you checking in. Probably a little chillier back home in Borger than it is here in Tyler. Although the temperature is dropping here in East Texas. As we started game 1 with a 62-degree temperature. And we had last checked, it was 58. Check swing did not go. It's 2-1. Well, I want to ask these Canadians that have checked in what the temperature is back home. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. With that cold snap going through the Midwest, I guess it's actually warmed up, or it's going to warm up. I noticed in the weather that there was going to be sometimes a 50-degree swing in a couple of days in some of those Midwestern states. So 2-2 pitch. Check swing, thought he went. It's called a strike, and Fiver is down. So pitchers seem to be finding their rhythm here as Bercier strikes out Fiver to lead off the 3rd inning. That's Bercier's first strikeout of the ball game. All right, Yanira Mall from Patterson checking in. Plainsman fan, appreciate that. Fastball outside corner. Strike 1 to Mike Morissette. Morissette, base hit, infield single his last time up. 1-for-1 in this ballgame. Give me a shout out to Cody Jamieson. Look out. Foul ball. That's going to head way over the Avalon toward the Rhodes Garden off to our left. 0-2 on Morissette. Watching from Arlington, Texas, Tammy Jamieson. Appreciate you checking in there. The score is 4-3 Plainsman. We're in the bottom of the 3rd. Plainsman scored 1 in the first, 3 in the second. The Apaches matched that 3 with 3 runs of their own in the bottom of the 2nd. That's where we stand right now. Bottom of the 3rd inning. 1 out, nobody aboard. 1-2 pitch to Morissette. Off the plate, 2-2. So, wait a minute. So LaSalle, Canada, minus 37 degrees Celsius. So somebody convert that for me. That's still cold. I don't care where you are. Swing and a miss. Morissette, 2 strikeouts in a row. And so in the 3rd inning, we've had nothing but strikeouts. Blatney struck out the side in the top half, and now Mercier has matched him with 2 of his own here in the bottom. That'll bring up Jason Ballou. RBI single in the 2nd inning. He's 1-for-1. 7 degrees in Amherstburg, snow on the ground. So high, deep left field. This has got a chance to carry, and it is out of here. Way out of here. Jason Ballou with a bomb to center field, and it's 4-4. So after a couple of strikeouts by Bercier, Ballou liked the first pitch he saw, and he drove it well over the center field fence. 370 straight away here, but it's an 18-foot high wall, and that went well into the trees. So Ballou's 2nd homer of the season and his 2nd RBI of the ball game ties it at 4 here in the 3rd inning. Shout out to Jaron Burks from Houston. Laura Burke's checking in, come to support the Apaches tomorrow. So safe travels there. And my wife and daughter are down there in Missouri City this evening. So safe travels for the Burks family as they come up to watch the game tomorrow. Minus 37, wow. I have some family in Minnesota, and they had some brutally cold temperatures this week. Hopefully you're nice and cozy watching some baseball. No balls and 2 strikes on Eric Owen. He doubled to left his last time up. Fastball up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Both pitchers seem to have settled in. Although Ballou caught one, a fastball by Bercier, drove it over the center field wall. Here's the 1-2, and that's outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, we're down to we're still at a 57 here in East Texas, so I know that those temperatures that were brutally cold earlier this week have moderated a bit here in the last few days and will continue to do so this weekend. 2-2 pitch in the dirt. Good job by Leonette to scoop that. 3 balls, 2 strikes. If Owen should reach, it would be Jacoby Bogue for the Apaches. He waits on deck. Here's the payoff pitch. And that's outside, ball 4. And that's the first walk of the ball game for Bercier. Just has 2 strikeouts so far through 2 2/3. Here's Jacoby Bogue for the second time. He got hit by a pitch right between the 2s, right in his back. Still doesn't have an official at bat. Still looking for his first hit of the 2019 campaign. Well, this high humidity is what's making it feel so cool. It's 57, but and boy, a run, a hop, and a skip for Eric Owen was off to the races there. You see some of the base runners, one of the techniques that's taught here, a lot of these guys coming in, I've seen this too, is a little bit of a running start at first. And you kind of guess at it, and if you guess right, you just keep going. No balls and 1 strike very shortly, then a big jump on the secondary. And that's kind of the strategy of, you're seeing this taught more and more now. It's kind of a new thing. And if you can master it, it's pretty effective, actually. It's even with guys that don't have stolen base speed. A pass ball, Leonette lets it get by him. He's been struggling with Bercier the whole game, and another one gets by, and down to second goes Eric Owen. So now you have the go-ahead run for the Apaches at second with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd. This game's pace has officially gone to snail's pace. 4-4 in the 3rd inning. It's a 9-inning ball game. The 1-1. Ground ball to short and backhands. Long throw and drop the ball. So that's an infield single for Jacoby. Yeah, I'm going to give it a single. And Owen, I thought you might have a shot at throwing at the 3rd there, but Hernandez chose to make the long throw, and Jacoby Bogue with pretty good speed beats out the throw. I don't think he would have been out. The ball came out of the glove of Solero at first, and I think he's going to be safe either way. Here's Kendall Price for the second time. Flew out to center back in the 2nd inning. And he did so with the runner at 3rd. Wasn't deep enough to score the run. 2 outs and 2 aboard on the corners for the Apaches. Little looper into center, base hit. Apaches 5. And the Plainsmen 4 on the RBI. I'm going to call that a double. Hustling double right there for Kendall Price. He hustles into second. So Price with the double, Griffin to 3rd, Owen scores. The Apaches have come all the way back to take a lead. They were losing 4-0. And now they're ahead 5-4. Well, back to the top we go. Seth Ballinger for the 3rd time. And time is called, and out to the mound is going to come David Diaz. Where are we at on the pitch count here? 63. My trusty sidekick, Ed Atkins, behind me, or next to my right here. He's going to be here all season. 63, is that what we said? Okay, so and 21 in the inning. So sometimes you go out and just kind of slow the game down. You do have a left-hander throwing in the Plainsman bullpen. And my gut is that Coach Diaz wants to stay with his sophomore Tanner Bercier. He's not gonna yank him here, but just giving him a chance to gather his breath a bit with 2 outs. And stepping in now is Seth Ballinger for his 3rd at bat in 3 innings. Again, the pace of this game has just come to a screeching halt. 5-4 Apaches, 5 runs on 8 hits. The Apaches have 4 errors in this game. 4 runs on 3 hits for the Plainsmen. They do not have an error. Ballinger takes strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch coming up. Boy, same spot. Called a ball. That might have been further in. Might have been a hair low. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs and 2 more runners in scoring position. The Apaches with a chance here to extend a 5-4 lead. Ballinger 2 for 2. Fly ball left field, and this is trouble over the head of Zamora. 2 runs will score. Ballinger will cruise into second with a 2 RBI double. And what a ball game for Seth Ballinger. Going the other way over the head of Zamora. And the Apaches have opened it up a little bit here, 7-4. This is the same lead that Frank Phillips had in game 1 early. They had a 7-4 lead early, and that is going to be all for Tanner Bercier as Coach Diaz is making the long, slow walk to the mound. We'll be back with the new pitcher for Frank Phillips when we return. It's 7-4 Apaches. All right, the new pitcher for Frank Phillips is a sophomore from Fort Worth, Texas, Josh Garza. Garza will take over for Tanner Bercier. Bercier goes 2 2/3 innings, gives up 7 runs on 9 hits. And Bercier ended up striking out 2, walking 1. So here's Ty Miser now, the 8th batter of the inning for the Apaches. They brought 8 batters to the inning, 8 batters to the plate in the 2nd inning. So hence the snail's pace of this ball game. Well, you got Ballinger out at second with 2 outs, 7-4 Apaches. First pitch from Garza coming up here. Misses low, ball 1. And this is Ty Meisner, 0 for 2, a couple of ground ball outs. Garza led the Plainsmen in ERA last year with a 5.81 ERA. He was 4-4, 14 appearances, 48 innings pitched, 53 strikeouts, 25 walks. Inside corner, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, one of the things, if you look at the numbers here, the Plainsman staff last year, as a staff, had a 9.36 ERA. So Garza at 5.81 was the leader in ERA. Look out! That ball almost got Jacob Johnson. It's one of the things I hate about this ballpark. There was so little room over there in that on-deck area. And boy, if you're not paying attention, even if you are paying attention, that ball is on you so fast. I wish they could put, I know it wouldn't be aesthetically pleasing, but it would be awful nice to have some kind of protective screen or something over there. I don't know. It's just so close. Really, at this level, you got guys throwing 90 plus in a check swing or a tardy swing and right in the guy's face. Really dangerous. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Ground ball right side. Tough play for the second baseman, Toll, but he'll flip it over. And finally, the inning is over on the 4-3. The Apaches put up 4 more runs on 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. The big blow, a solo shot to center by Ballou, and a 2 RBI double by Seth Ballinger did most of the damage. We'll head to the 4th inning. It's 7-4 Apaches. And welcome back to Mike Carter Field as we head to the 4th inning. Well, those Apache fans are waking up out there, heard from a number of them. Jamie Stanford rooting for Jacoby and the Apaches. And the Morissette family has checked in from Frisco. Appreciate them checking in on that Remind app. Some of the Apache fans that want to keep up with the regular broadcasts, you can enroll in that Remind text system very simply, and I think I've got an overlay that I'll put up here maybe the next half inning. If you want to enroll in that, what I'll do is shoot out a real quick text. It's just an app. The easiest way is to download the Remind app and you just enroll. We'll put instructions to do that here next half inning. I shoot out a text message a little bit, probably an hour or so before game time, and occasionally if there's a change in the schedule this week. For instance, yesterday I threw out one to those that might be interested in watching that today's game would be starting earlier because of the flip of the doubleheader. So it's a Remind text system. It's a free texting system used by educators and Little Leagues all over America and high school and college programs. So if you want to enroll in that, I'll put that up here next half inning. But thanks for checking in on the Remind system. Morissette family in Frisco, Texas, over in the Metro. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Top of the lineup. Zamora at the plate. Pops it up. And this is going to be the catcher now, and Price can't handle it. Got to keep your feet moving. That's not an easy play, but a catchable ball that Kendall Price just misplayed. So, boy, you give a scrappy hitter another chance. Mark Zamora is going to get another crack at it. He leads it off. Top of the lineup for the Plainsmen, Zamora, Tolv, and Leonette to bat for Frank Phillips here in the top of the 4th. Blatney back on the mound. He started the inning with 75 pitches, and he got him to chase one. And Blatney has struck out the last 4 batters. Strikeout number 7 for Jacob. 1 out in the 4th. Here's Tommy Tolve now. Ground out to third. Got hit by a pitch. 7-9-4 for the Apaches. 4-3-0 for the Plainsmen from Frank Phillips. First pitch in there, strike one. Oh, 1 pitch, well off the plate. One ball, one strike. Next pitch misses inside to, oh, sorry, strike call. Mr. Umpire is going to keep this game moving along. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That's low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So the minus 37 Celsius translates to minus 34.6 Fahrenheit. That's still pretty cold. I don't know. That doesn't sound right. Strike 3, and Blatney is on a roll. It's 5 in a row. And that's 8 for the ball game for Jacob. I just typed it in here, and I don't know how can that be right? It's possible. Suffice it to say that minus 37 Celsius is cold. 2 outs, nobody aboard. A huge hack by Ricardo Leonette, the catcher. He singled and drove in a run in the first, popped up to short in the second. 1 for 2 in this ball game. And a 2-run homer in the first game. 0-1 pitch off the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike. Blatney has found his stride here in the third and fourth. He struck out the last 5 batters. One pitch, low. 2 balls and a strike. Next pitch is again low, 3-1. So the streak is in jeopardy here. 3 balls and a strike. He struck out 5 Plainsmen in a row. Struck out the side in the third. But he's dropped to a 3-1 count here on Leonette. Going from the windup, the pitch. In there for a strike, 3-2. Two outs and nobody aboard. 7-4 Apaches. The pitch. Boy, another big swing on a 3-2 pitch. Fouls it straight back. We'll stay at 3-2. And he hit him inside fastball. He's been coming in on a lot of these Plainsman hitters, and that one just did get Leonette, and the streak is over now. Hit batter for Jacob Blatney. 2 outs and 1 aboard for Yadier Medina. Fastball in there, strike 1. Next pitch is going to miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. It looks like much of the country is now in the positives. Midwest in the teens and low 20s. Northeast still in those close to single digits. 1-1 pitch. Looking at a national temperature map here. I know we're supposed to warm up tomorrow to mid-60s and then 70 by Sunday, so this cooler air is going to move on out. 2 balls and a strike with 2 outs. The pitch. Just missed low. 3-1. Now we've heard from a number of Texans here. I'm curious to know if we got anyone from out of state. Heard from some Canadians today. If we got anyone watching from outside of the state of Texas, a little shout out on that live chat feature. 3 balls and a strike with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Golly. Tell you what, Medina not getting cheated on that. It's 3-2. Two outs. Runner will be off with the pitch. Here it comes. Ball 4. Hit, batter, and a walk. And for Blatney, he's hit 4 batters. And that's just his second walk of the day. But it brings the tying run to the plate, and that's going to be all for Blatney. Coach Rupenthal on his way to the mound. Long, slow walk. He's already made the signal to the bullpen. We'll let you know who the new Apache pitcher is when we return. 7-4 Apaches. A 2-out rally brewing here as Harold Solero will step into the box with 2 on and 2 out. All right, the new pitcher for the Apaches is right-hand sophomore, 6'5", 240, Mitchell Lee from Orange, Texas. As the big right-hander will step in with 2 on and 2 out, and he'll face Harold Solero. And Lee, the sophomore, last year, 1-2 in 16 outings. 11 2/3 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts, 6 walks. The sophomore from Orange, Texas, Little Cypress, Mauriceville. They've dropped him down to the side here, and his job is to get that 3rd out of the inning, get the Apaches off the field. They have a 3-run lead, the tying run at the plate. First baseman Harold Solero got hit by a pitch twice. Still doesn't have an official at bat this season. He did not play in the first game. 1 ball, no strikes. First pitch was off the plate. Next pitch is on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Top of inning number 4. Mitchell Lee comes set, the pitch. Just missed off the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike. Boy, when he drops down, it's not a true sidearm. It's more of a 3/4 type delivery, but kind of bends at the waist and takes a pitch or two for those, especially those right-handed batters, to get used to seeing it. Kind of throws across the zone a bit. 3-1 now as he falls behind. Solero, Nicholas Ramos waits on deck. With the sign, the 3-1 pitch coming up. Here it is. Swing and a miss. 3-2. Well, the 8:44 right on time here. Got a train track right behind the right field wall. 18-foot high wall. We're 325 down the lines, 361 in the gaps, 370 straight away, but that wall, and on a humid night, ball does not travel. The wind's blowing straight down here tonight. And there's ball 4. Bases are loaded. So a hit batter and 2 walks. 3rd walk of the game for Apache pitchers. 1st walk for Lee. Here's Nicholas Ramos. Flew out to left, struck out swinging. 0 for 2. Tying run now aboard. Go-ahead run at the plate in a 7-4 game. The pitch. Little chopper right back to Lee. This should do it. He'll flip it to Morissette, and the inning is over. So Lee comes on and gets out of trouble. And all that and nothing, right? 2 strikeouts, a hit batter and 2 walks, and a little chopper to the mound. No runs on no hits. 3 left on base, and we'll head to the bottom of inning number 4. It's 7-4 Apaches. Three, 4, and 5 for the Apaches here in inning number 4. Jacob Johnson will lead it off. 0 for 2. Flew out to left, grounded out to second. Tyler 7, Frank Phillips 4, bottom of the 4th. First pitch is in there, strike 1. So Johnson, after going 3 for 3 in the opener, is 0 for 2 here in this one. Wind up and the pitch. It's going to sail high. 1-1. Josh Garza, the left-hand sophomore out of Fort Worth, back on the mound for the Plainsmen. Came on with 2 outs in the 3rd inning. Got Meisner to ground out to second base. 1-1 pitch off the plate, 2-1. Yanira Mull is checked in. Plainsman fan. Wants to see David Calderon. 2-1 pitch. Big hack by Johnson. Fouls it straight back to the left here. Out of play. 2-2. Yeah, appreciate all the check-ins on the live chat. Keep them coming. We'll give you a shout-out. Still waiting to hear from somebody out of state. I've heard some from out of country, some Canadians. Anyone else out of the country or out of the state of Texas? If you're in the state and want to check in, that's fine too. Love to hear from you. Yeah, I forgot to put that overlay up. I'll have to do that next half inning. Those of you that are Apache fans that want to get reminders about the broadcast, give you that info. Forgot to do it last half. We'll get it up there before the game's over. You can do it on your mobile phone as you watch this broadcast here in a minute. It's pretty simple. Just type a simple code in, type to a number. And it's a free system. Pop up left side, out of play. Count will stay 3-2 on Jacob Johnson. I use that remind system for my classes at Tyler Junior College. I use it for the softball broadcast that I do here and the baseball broadcast as well. Some other groups that I lead. So it's a nonprofit. Remind is the name of the app. And it's a free app. And what I do sometimes, or usually when I'm broadcasting, I'll shoot out a reminder about the game about an hour before, sometimes a day or two before. Swing and a miss, and Johnson strikes out. That's not, and that might be Johnson's first strikeout of the season there. It's the third strikeout for Plainsman pitchers. And stepping in is Fiver Trimble. He struck out his last time up, 0 for 2 in this one. Josh Garza, the windup and the pitch. In there for a strike, 0-1. No balls, 2 strikes to Fiver. The left-handed sophomore from Fort Worth. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Josh Garza. And stepping in is Mike Morissette, and he's going to strike out the middle of this lineup. Johnson struck out. Now Trimble, and now it's Morissette. Morissette 1 for 2, an infield single, and a strikeout himself. Ball got away. It's ball 1. Seven, 9, and 4 for the Apaches. 4, 3, and 0 for the Plainsmen from Frank Phillips. Ball gets away. 2 and 0. And these are Frank Phillips' first ball games of the season. Seven and a half driving hours from Borger, Texas, 475 miles. In there for a strike. It's 2 and 1. Yeah, nice long bus trip down to Tyler. Stay overnight. Gotta believe after tomorrow's games they'll head back to the Panhandle. 3 balls, 1 strike. Michael Morissette at the plate. Jason Ballou would be next for the Apaches. The 3-1. And that's high, ball 4. So not unlike his counterpart, Jacob Blatney. Blatney ended up finishing with 97 pitches, by the way. Blatney struck out the first 2 batters that he faced in the 4th and then hit a batter and walked a batter, and that was it. It's going to be the first walk for Josh Garza. And and just the second walk of the game for Plainsman pitching. Stepping in is Jason Ballou, and he hit an absolute bomb to center his last time up. Big swing and a miss. Strike one. His 2 home runs were towering blasts. He hit a home run in the very first game of the year for the Apaches last Friday, a week ago, about 15 or 20 feet above the paint on that light pole in left center. Little chopper to the left side, and this is a tough play. Zerillo throws across. Nicely done. Darren Zerillo had to come in and take that ball right by the bag and had to make a strong throw to get Ballou, but he did it. So that'll be all for the Apaches. A couple of donuts on the board for both clubs in the 4th. We'll head to the 5th, 7-4 Tyler. So there's how you enroll in the Remind text system. It's pretty simple. You can either go to download the app, the Remind app, REMIND. Let's go to the App Store. Or you can just text to 81010, the message at TJCBB, and you'll be on a list where I shoot out a kind of a blast text message, not very often. But on game day, I'm usually here a couple hours before the game, and I'll take a picture and shoot it out and remind the fans that we're not long from going on the air. And occasionally, if there's a schedule change, I'll also shoot out a text message. So those of you who are Apache fans, if you want to enroll in that, that's how you do it. And it's also a mechanism where you can check in. And I got that on my phone right here. That's where I heard from the Morissette family. They use that Remind text. You can reply back to me really at any time. So appreciate the Morissette's using that vehicle, and if you want to do that as well. Also, it's a mechanism. If we do have technical issues, the Remind system's a way for me to hear from you. Either the video or the audio is not quite what it should be. So thanks for taking some time. If you want to enroll in that, any of you parents out there, that's how you do it. So back to baseball, and 7, 8, and 9 for Frank Phillips. This is Edgar Hernandez. First pitch from Lee is going to miss. I thought it was a strike, but I'll go there. And it's 1-0. Big right-hander Mitchell Lee. That's an outside corner strike, 1-1. Next pitch from Lee to look out. Off the net just above the Apache dugout. Well, we'll play this final game of the series tomorrow, a noon single 9 game. It's the way baseball should be played. It's doubleheader stuff. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody on and nobody out. We're in the top of inning number 5. We're trying to push our way towards the halfway mark in this one. We're not halfway, and we're approaching the 2-hour mark. A full count on Hernandez. He has reached on an air and struck out. Swing and a miss. It's going to be strikeout number 9 for Apache pitchers, and the first strikeout for reliever Mitchell Lee. Came on with 2 outs in the 3rd inning. Or 2 outs in the 4th. So that'll bring up Darren Zerillo. Made a really nice play to end the inning in the bottom of the 4th. First pitch misses inside, ball 1. Zerillo has struck out swinging twice in this one. Walked, struck out, laid down a sac bunt in game 1. 1-0 pitch. Foul tip. 1 ball, 1 strike. 7-4 Apaches, top of the 5th inning. 1 out, nobody aboard. The pitch. Breaking pitch catches the outside part of the plate. 1-2. Pitch. Look out. Fouled off the net. A little tardy on that fastball. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Christian Mendez, the center fielder, waits on deck for the Plainsman. Lee going from the stretch. The 1-2. Pretty good pitch right there. There's no way I could have taken it with 2 strikes. Mr. Umpire calls it a ball. Two-two pitch well off the plate on the fastball, and it's a full count 3-2. But part of the thing that's going on in this game as well is a lot of base runners, but also a lot of deep counts. Both pitching staffs not disposing of hitters very quickly. 3-2 pitch. Little chopper, and that's going to go foul. Everyone kind of delayed a moment to see if that was going to come down fair. And not only did Price, the catcher, and Lee, the pitcher, but also the batter, Cirillo, they all kind of just froze there for a moment in time and kind of all of a sudden realized we better start doing our job here as that ball might come fair. Trickled foul. Here comes the next 3-2 pitch. Ground ball foul down the third base line. Do it again. Well, Frank Phillips jumped out to a 4-0 lead. Apaches put 3 up in the 2nd inning, 4 more in the 3rd. They lead at 7-4. Ground ball to second base. This is Ballinger. And he'll get the out. 2 up, 2 down. 4-3 if you're scoring at the house. Here's Christian Mendez, the 9-hitter for the Frank Phillips Plainsmen. Mendez 1 for 2 in this ball game. Base hit to right, struck out swinging to end the 3rd inning. Fastball right down the heart of the plate, strike 1. Well, we're down to 55 now. I'm telling you, before we're done, we're going to be in the 40s. Game started at 58. Game 1 started at 61, actually got warmer. Got to 62 during the first ball game. It's the high temperature for the day here in East Texas, but we're headed for, the Weather Channel says 52. 30% chance tonight, 40% tomorrow, but there's a chopper to Meisner at third, is going to go foul. The weather reports that I watched this weekend, if we do get that rain, it's not going to be much, so we may have to play through a little drizzle tomorrow at times. High is 65 tomorrow. And actually, they've downgraded the temperature now to 68 on Sunday. So definitely warming trend here in East Texas. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Swing and a miss. Got him. Mitchell Lee with a 1-2-3 5th inning. 10th strikeout for Apache pitchers. 2nd strikeout for Lee. And we'll head to the bottom of the 5th. We are officially halfway home. And we're officially 2 hours in. Back in just a minute. 7-4 Apaches. Welcome back to Mike Carter Field. We're in Tyler, Texas, just about a mile inside the West Loop. Mike Carter Field, the venue. 7, 8, and 9 for the Apaches. Eric Owen, Jacoby Bogue, and Kendall Price scheduled to hit for the Apaches. Wearing their pinstripes today here in the doubleheader. Frank Phillips, Plainsman, wearing the navy blue tops with the gray pants. Got the white paneled hats. Apaches going with the black ball caps today. 2 balls and no strikes to Eric Owen. Owen 1 for 1, an RBI double in the second inning. He walked and scored in the third. In there for a strike. That ball's going to miss. Check swing, but they're going to call it a strike. It's not going to matter. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The 3-2 pitch just misses. It's a leadoff walk to Eric Owen here in the 5th. Third walk of the game for Plainsman pitching. Second walk for Josh Garza. And here's Jacoby Bogue for the third time. Jacoby got hit by a pitch and an infield single. He scored 1 run in this game. 7-4 Apaches, bottom of the 5th. Fastball misses high. One ball, no strikes. Nobody out. Runner at first. Very short lead over there by Owen. Now, Garza's going to step off. Next pitch misses. No, it doesn't. Been wrong a number of times here today. One ball, 1 strike, the pitch. In there for a strike. Well, it's 44 in Borger right now. So, you don't have much of wind going on there either. Fair skies. They're headed for 71 tomorrow in Borger, so 75 on Sunday. 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Backdoor breaking pitch, and Bogue is down on strikes. It'll be strikeout number 3 for Josh Garza. And the 5th strikeout of the ball game for the Plainsman pitching staff. Between he and Bercier, 5 strikeouts. Stepping in is the 9-hitter, Kendall Price. RBI double his last time up. Flew out to center field his first time up. Fouled straight back. It's 0-1. Well, the other thing that's slowing this game down is these pitchers are taking forever to deliver the ball. Off the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike. We're on pace for about a 4-hour game, if not more. So 1-1, the pitch. Ball's well hit to center field. Drifting over is Mendez, and he'll make the catch. 2 outs. Well hit ball by Price. Hit it right to Mendez in center. Back to the top we go. Seth Ballinger. Ballinger, 3 for 3 and 3 RBI. Apache's second baseman. He'll step in with 1 on and 2 outs. Owen, would not be surprised if you see Owen look to go to second early in this count. Extended his lead a good bit here in the first pitch. These lefties, you got to go first move or not at all. And it was a slide step. Garza threw that slide step in there. He also threw a strike. So it's 0-1 to Seth Ballinger. Garza comes set. The pitch. High and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. A little bit of a lull here. Quiet at the stadium. Here comes the 1-1. Off the plate. 2-1. Seven, 9, and 4 for the Apaches. 4, 3, and 0 for the Plainsmen from Frank Phillips College. And threw the pickoff away down the right field line. And Owen will hit second and head for third, and he'll get there standing up. Well, Garza tried to be a little bit too tricky on the pickoff, and the throw got away from him. Solero couldn't corral it, and it went down into the right field corner. And Owen goes all the way to third on the E1. That's the first error of the game for Frank Phillips. Now the Apaches with another run 90 feet away. 2-1. In there for a strike, 2-2. The pitch, well off the plate, and it's a full count on Seth Ballinger. Ty Meisner would be next for the Apaches. Garza comes set. Here comes the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Pretty good hack there by Ballinger. He strikes out. 4 strikeouts now for Garza as we head to the top of the 6th inning. Your score for Mike Carter remains the Apaches 7 and the Plainsmen 4. Back in a minute on ApacheAthletics.com. Top of the lineup for Frank Phillips, 1, 2, and 3. Zamora, Tolv, and Leonette scheduled to hit. No, I guess we're going to pull that off of there. There we go. Yeah, Eddie's keeping me on my P's and Q's here. Wouldn't be the first time I've called a game with an overlay on the screen there. 7-4 as we head to the 6th. Plainsmen got a little work to do. They're down by 3. Big right-hander, 6'5", 240. Mitchell Lee came on with 2 outs in the 4th. Continues to work for the Apaches here. A number of Apache pitchers just kind of milling around in their bullpen. Kind of the same thing going on down in the Plainsman bullpen. 1-0 pitch. Misses inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Next pitch misses. 3 balls, no strikes. In there for a strike, 3-1. All right, we've heard from Kelly Clark. Watching from Hallsville, rooting for the Apaches, and Mason Higginbotham. All right, they're coming over to watch the ball game tomorrow. Safe travels to Miss Clark and the Clark family. Appreciate you checking in on that Remind text system. So a leadoff walk to the leadoff hitter, Zamora. And the Plainsmen trying to get back into this one. They trail it by 3 runs. Still well within reach and a lot of baseball ahead of us. First pitch. In there for a strike. And as the temperature drops, the strike zone gets bigger. Pop up, shallow right field. This is Ballinger. We struggled on one earlier, but he catches this one. We're out number 1. That walk was Lee's 2nd and the Apaches' 4th of the game. Runner at first, 1 out. And here's Ricardo Leonette. Leonette, RBI single in the 1st, popped up to short in the 2nd, got hit by a pitch in the 4th. He's 1 for 2 so far with an RBI. The pitch. In there for a strike. It's 0-1. Here's the pitch. And he held up on that one. 1 ball, 1 strike. One out, 1 aboard, the pitch. Oh, he dropped that breaking pitch right over the inside corner. 1-2. I would have guessed that you have a good number of people coming into Tyler tomorrow for the game. Boy, nice job there by Kendall Price to just snag that pitch that was way outside, and count goes to 2-2. Got a noon start tomorrow. I'm sure part of that is to try to get the Plainsmen out of here in a reasonable time. They got a long journey back to Borger. 475 miles, about 7.5 hours. Strike 3 called. As the zone continues to grow a little bit here as the game progresses. 11-2 11 strikeouts for Apache pitching in this one. For Lee, that's going to be strikeout number 3 in his outing. And here is Yadier Medina. Runner going, throw to second, and ball gets by. Ball kind of tailed to the right side of second. Ballinger couldn't snag it. And it's a stolen base for Zamora. Well, you try to chip away here if you're Frank Phillips, and they'll steal with 2 outs to try to get a 2-out base hit here and maybe cut into the 3-run lead. It's exactly what the Apaches did in Game 1. They were down with this exact score and got a single run in the 3rd, a single run in the 5th, a single run in the 6th, and then walked them off with a single run in the 7th. So we saw it done by the Apaches on the other side of things in Game 1, and Frank Phillips would happily take the same type of ball game. 2 outs, 1 aboard. Here's the 1-0. Way outside, wild pitch. And the runner will go to third. Well, you still don't have anybody. Well, nobody's tossing that bullpen. A couple of guys throwing a ball. One guy throwing it into the net. Nobody's getting loose at the moment. 2-0 pitch. Off the plate. Three balls, no strikes. We're at the cleanup spot in the Frank Phillips lineup. Harold Solero would be next. Pitch is in there. 3-1. Well, the Plainsmen just looking for a little shift in the momentum here. 3-1. Chopper to second. This is Ballinger. Should make an easy play, and he does. 4-3 if you're scoring at the house. A leadoff walk is stranded at third. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. The score remains Tyler Junior College 7 and Frank Phillips 4. Two, 3, and 4 for the Apaches as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Tyler leads Frank Phillips 7-4. Ty Meisner will lead it off. He's 0 for 3. He's grounded out 3 times. First pitch in there for strike 1. Left-handed sophomore from Fort Worth, Texas, Josh Garza continues to work here for the Plainsmen. 1 ball, 1 strike to Meisner. Meisner, Johnson, and Trimble scheduled to come to the plate. Off-speed pitch, just does get a piece of it. 1-2. Wind-up and the pitch. And that misses low. Garza wanted it called a strike. So did some of the infielders for Frank Phillips. Buffalo, New York. There you go. Go Apaches. Coach Balicki. Appreciate you checking in up there. Now, I want to know how much snow is on the ground in Buffalo because I think they got a bunch of lake effect snow. I grew up not far from Buffalo, and they got pounded snow belt. So, Coach Balicki, let me know what's the weather like up there in Buffalo. The time is called. Coach Diaz. They're having a discussion. He's right in the face of that umpire. The umpire's not backing down. Now he took his mask off. Not quite sure what that was all about there, but nonetheless, go back at it. Nobody on, nobody out. Joined by Charles Johnson. Greatest Apache baseball fan ever. Swing and a miss. And Meisner's down on strikes. 1 out here in the 6th. That's strikeout number 5 as Josh Garza settled in here. 7th strikeout for the Plainsman pitchers. Here's Jacob Johnson for the 4th time. And, boy, we haven't said this yet this year. He's 0 for 3. Struck out swinging his last time up, so by Johnson standards, a mini slump here. He has started out as hot as anyone in this lineup. 3 for 3 in game 1. And a ground ball up the middle. This is going to be Tolve, and just got him. Bang, bang at first. Had to get rid of it quick, and he did. Nice play up the middle by Tommy Tolve. 2 up, 2 down. Here's Fiver Trimble for the 4th time. Struck out twice, flew out to center. Fiver's 0 for 3. Trimble with a 3-run homer in game 1. Put the Apaches right back in that ball game. Had 4 RBIs in that game. Still looking for his first hit in this one. Fastball, outside corner, strike 1. We've definitely seen the zone expand here in this second game. Mr. Umpire was right in the ear of Leonetta after that pitch. He had a nice face-to-face discussion with Coach Diaz during the Meisner at bat. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Check swing. Ball trickles over to the Apache dugouts, 1-2. 2 outs, nobody aboard. 7-4 Apaches, bottom of the 6th. We've had Coach Balecki check in. Had a lot of folks check in. Appreciate all the comments on the live chat. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Deuces Wild on the board for Fiver Trimble. Wind up in the pitch. Strike 3 called, and Fiver thought it was an inside pitch. It was pretty close. 8th strikeout for Plainsman pitchers. The 6th strikeout for Josh Garza. Settling in nicely here as we go top of the 7th. We're almost to the 7th inning stretch. 7-4 Apaches. 5, 6, and 7 for Frank Phillips, and another healthy hack by a Plainsman batter. They have not gotten cheated today at all. 1 strike on Harold Solero. Always watching from Victoria, British Columbia. The Hambleys, appreciate that check-in. Got a lot of Canadians checking in today. A lot of Plainsman fans, appreciate that. Also have some Apache fans checked in. Appreciate all the comments in the live chat. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mitchell Lee back on the rubber for the Apaches outside. 2 balls and a strike. Lee started the inning with 43 pitches. Still got some gas in the tank. We do have a right-hander, maybe. Somebody just threw a ball, but still nobody getting loose down that Apache bullpen. In there for a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, I'm trying to turn the heater on, and it's blowing cold air. That's no good. Well, now I really screwed it up. There we go. 86. We'll see if we can get a sweating in here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Little chopper foul. I shudder to think what the Canadians who have checked in here. It was minus 30-something. Someone was checking in on the live chat, and we're crying about 55 degrees. We're turning on the heater in the press box. Now it's getting warm. Yeah, we're a bunch of weenies up here for sure. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody on and nobody out. Solero at the plate. Mitchell Lee on the mound for the Apaches. Apaches lead at 7-4. We're in the 7th inning in a game that has been played at a snail's pace. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Got him. 12th strikeout for Apache pitching, and the 4th punch-out for Mitchell Lee. And there's 1 out here in the 7th. Nicholas Ramos steps in. 0 for 3 for Ramos. Fly ball to left, a strikeout, and a ground ball right back to the pitcher. First pitch. Little looper. This is at Ballinger at second. He'll take it on 2 hops, throw it over, and there's 2 outs. 4-3 if you're scoring at the house. With 2 outs, it's Edgar Hernandez, the shortstop, stepping in. Hernandez reached on an error and scored in the 2nd. Since then, has struck out swinging twice. Yeah, I'm starting to feel it. Inside ball 1. Let's go Harold Patterson watching, all right? Mr. Solero, appreciate that. I'm watching from Patterson, New Jersey. David Calderon. There's a grounder to the 3rd, and this should do it. Throw over, and it's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Mitchell Lee. The 7th is in the books for Frank Phillips. We'll head to the bottom half, and it's 7th inning stretch time. Time to stretch it out at the ballpark. Get out of your lazy boy chair. Get out of bed. Stretch it out. 7-4 Apaches. Welcome back to Mike Carter Field. The Apaches and the Plainsmen in a 3-game series. Game 3 will be tomorrow at 12 noon. If you can't make it to Tyler at Mike Carter, we'll be back on the air about 11:45 a.m. Pre-game show, interviews with coaches. Hope you can join us for the broadcast if you can't make it to the ballpark tomorrow. Appreciate all the check-ins, man. A lot of you checking in from all over the planet. Appreciate those notes. Miss Janet watching from New Jersey. David Calderon. Hope you've enjoyed the pictures and the sound. Hopefully we're coming through loud and clear. First pitch to Morissette at strike. It's 0-1. Base hit to right field. That could be 2. It's cut off and right by Medina. We'll keep Morissette to a single. Well, boy, the Apaches would love to see Morissette get on track here. That's his second hit in the game. Infield single his first time up. So here's Jason Ballou. Ballou's got 2 hits in the game, a single to center, RBI, and a blast to center and an RBI. So 2 for 3 for Jason. A couple RBIs and a couple of runs scored. And if you look up and down this Apache lineup, there's snapshots of some potent offense for sure. If you get some solid pitching, that adds up to some wins. So far, there's 5 of them. 5-0 for Tyler Junior College. Swept a 3-game set from Mountain View last weekend and took a single game against the Centenary JV on Monday. They won the first game of the doubleheader here. They're sitting at 5-0, and of course the Plainsmen first ball games of the year. That foul tip went off of Leonette, and home plate umpire is trying to give him a few minutes to gather himself. Ballou steps back in with an 0-1 count. Mike Morissette over at first. And there it is, 9:38, right on time. 0-1. Ballou a little tardy on that, heads over towards the Rose Football Stadium to our right. Oh, 0-2 pitch coming up from Garza. The pitch in the dirt. And Leonette smothers it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. You know, we're kind of hovering right there at 55 at the moment. May not get to the 40s like I thought we were. I thought we were going to get into the 40s before this one is over, but we're kind of hanging there at 55 right now. Been there for a while. 1-2 pitch. Yes, he did. And Ballou is a strikeout victim. 7th strikeout for Josh Garza. 9th strikeout for Plainsman pitching. So Garza has settled in here. So has Mitchell Lee. We haven't had a run scored since the 3rd inning. Bottom of 7 here. And stepping in is Eric Owen. Eric Owen has walked twice and doubled. He scored 3 times in this game. Good production from the 7th spot in the Apache lineup. First pitch. In there for strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch coming up. Here it is. That was low. Got to believe that Ricardo Leonette is going to sleep well tonight. That rascal's caught both ends of a doubleheader, and he has blocked a lot of baseballs today. Yeah. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. You wonder if they might turn Morissette loose here. Try to extend the lead a bit. You really didn't want to do it with Ballou up there. But with one out, the big fella can run better than you think. Here's the 1-1 not going. Just misses high. 2-1. We got some heat coming out of that window unit, but the breeze is coming right at us here. I'm going to have to close this window in a minute. 2-1. There goes Morissette. We thought we might see him go, and he's out by a mile. Ricardo Leonette threw a nice strike to the bag, and Morissette is the second out of the inning. So now you got nobody on, 2 outs with a 3-1 count to Eric Owen, the pitch. Off the plate, ball 4. Well, it was kind of odd that Garza kind of delayed it. When he had his leg up in the air, he kind of delayed for a moment there. I haven't seen him do that yet. Why he would do that on a 3-1 pitch is a bit of a mystery. Well, by my unofficial count, 3rd walk for Garza, 4th walk for Frank Phillips pitching tonight. Stepping in now is Jacoby Bogue. Hit by pitch, infield single, struck out looking. 1 for 2. First pitch missed, it's 1-0. Outside corner, 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, we'll try to give you a little bit of a rundown here before we go off the air of some of the, if I have it with me, the other games we're going to be broadcasting. Not sure I have it with me, so I may not be able to do that. But two balls and a strike to Bogue. I got a calendar somewhere with all broadcasting right around 70 ball games this spring between Tyler Junior College baseball. There goes the runner, throw into center field. Delay steal by Owen. And boy, I love that. Love to see it. Stolen base for Owen. And nobody was home. Leonette threw it to the bag, and neither middle infielder was breaking in that direction. That could have been worse. As you could have seen Owen go to 3rd there. But as is, it's a 2-2 count for Jacoby Bogue, trying to extend a 3-run advantage here in the bottom of the 7th. The pitch off the hands, and this is Tolve coming in, making the catch for the final out. Little P4. And we will head to the 8th inning. Your score from Mike Carter Field and Tyler remains the Apaches 7 and the Plainsmen 4. Back in a minute on ApacheAthletics.com. All right, we got a new arm on the mound for the Apaches. What a nice job by Mitchell Lee. Came on with 2 outs in the 4th, and he takes the game through the 7th. Nice job. Peyton Miller will take over. Right-handed sophomore from Bullard, Texas, 6'1" and 170. Miller, in 3 innings of work last weekend, struck out 6. And has not given up a run yet. And he'll take over here in the 8th inning. First pitch swung on and missed. This is, well, we do have a pinch hitter. David Calderon. So we get somebody watching from New Jersey wanting him to come in, and here he is, pinch hitter. 0-1, the pitch. Missed inside, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. So Calderon is the pinch hitter for Darren Zerillo. David Calderon. Here's the 1-1. Breaking pitch over the heart of the plate. And it's 1-2. Boy, if you throw that on the outside pitch, it's outside part of the plate, unhittable. Miller has been solid coming in to try to nail this thing down for the Apaches. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him on the fastball. Strikeout number 13 for Apache pitchers. Miller has struck out the first batter he's seen. And another hitter is Preston Lonadier. Lonadier. First pitch, strike 1. So Christian Mendez is now out of this game, as Lonadier steps in as the pinch hitter. Swing and a miss. 2 strikes. Miller appears to be sharp tonight. With a 3-run advantage, and you got 5 more outs to get. Miller with that glove right in front of the face. The 0-2 coming up. Foul tip. And Price can't quite hold on. Well, not seeing anybody throwing that Apache bullpen, so everything holds to course here. It'll be Peyton Miller to finish this up. If he does, it'll be the first save of the year for the Apache pitching staff. Right down the middle, strike 3. 14 strikeouts for the Apache pitchers. Second striking in as many batters for Peyton Miller. Well, we talked about it before. Coming into the game, the Apache pitching staff had struck out 52 batters in just 34 innings. They'd also walked 26, and well, they struck out 14 in this one and 8 in game 1. Chopper foul down the third base line. 1 strike on the leadoff hitter, Mark Zamora. Zamora is 1 for 3 with a walk. He has scored twice. 2 outs, nobody aboard. Peyton Miller has struck out both batters. Outside corner. That pitch right there is unhittable. Really a sharp break to it. The slider, Miller with the fastball in the low 90s, and well, you put that slider in there, and really hard to deal with. Here's the 0-2. Fastball misses up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, we know Zamora's a pesky hitter. He's shown to be scrappy at the plate all night long. Couple of hits in game 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Miller has the sign going from the windup. The pitch. Took something off the breaking pitch, and Peyton Miller strikes out the side. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. We will head to the bottom of the 8th. The Apaches are 3 outs from a sweep of a doubleheader. Back in a minute, 7-4 Apaches. Welcome back to Tyler, Texas. We're at Mike Carter Field. Dr. John Groth on the play-by-play. Bottom of the 8th, 7-4. Tyler leads Frank Phillips. The Apaches won in a walk-off fashion, 8-7 in game 1. And here in game 2, 7-4 lead going to the 8th. Bottom of the 8th. 9-1-2. This is Kendall Price. First pitch in there, strike one. That's pitch number 71 for Josh Garza. Sophomore has done a really nice job in relief for the Plainsmen. The 0-1. Fouled off to the right side. It's quickly 0-2 on the 9-hitter. Kendall Price, first action for Price this 2019 season. Did not play in the first 4 games. Garza from the windup. Another ball that Leonette's got to block. 1-2 with nobody on and nobody out. Apaches trying to take their record to 6-0. Plainsmen trying to prevent from going 0-2. Another foul ball to the right side out of play. I appreciate the shout-outs from the Calderon fan club that checked in on the live chat. Big left-hander, Josh Garza. 1-2 pitch. And just does good a piece, does Kendall Price. Price is 1 for 3, RBI double back in the 3rd inning. The Apaches 7 runs on 10 hits, 4 errors. Plainsmen 4 runs, 3 hits, and 1 error. Boy, this game started ugly for the Apaches. They were trailing 4-0 after an inning and a half. And they had all 4 of those errors in that first 2 innings. Since then, they put up a 4-run 3rd. Create some separation. Since then, it's been zeros, and the pace of the game has definitely picked up. We're only halfway through the game at 2 hours, and now we're in the bottom of the 8th, and right at not quite 3 hours here. So 3-2 pitch, and nice at bat by Price to draw a walk. Well, you wonder if you run for Price here, or think about it. Doesn't look like they're going to do anything here. Here's Seth Ballinger. All he's done, 3 for 4 tonight. 3 RBIs for the leadoff hitter. Playing second base as he did in game 1. He was 1 for 4 in the first game. He'll step in left on left here against Garza. The pitch. Solid fastball, strike 1. Ballinger came into the ballgame, hit 2 for 3. And today, let's see, 1 for 4 and 3 for 4. So 4 for 8. There's a bunt, and they're not going to get him. Oh, my, that was a missed call. Ballinger was a step beyond the base, and he's hurt. He is down, and oh, gosh, you hate to see that. And Mr. Umpire at first base missed the call. Ballinger's foot was on the bag before that other guy. I don't think it was close. But Mr. Umpire stepped back and might have got blocked from the play, but called him out. The bigger issue for the Apaches is Seth Ballinger, who is down and grabbing that. It might be that same leg that was injured. He had a strained muscle that kept him out of some action last weekend. Bending that left leg. If I remember correctly, that was the quadricep that had an injury. And they're going to probably run for him. Coach Wren's getting his money's worth over there while they attend to Seth. Well, Ballinger's going to be out, I guess, on the 3-1. So there's one out. Price goes to second base. As long as Ballinger's on the ground, Coach Wren's taking license to talk to the umpire. And good to see Seth on his feet there for sure. He's going to be done for this game, and we just hate to see him get hurt again, but he's going to come out of the game, and that will probably Coach Wren maybe ask the first base umpire if he got blocked, if there's a different perspective. For now, there's going to be an out call. They are going to huddle up on this call, and they're going to stay with the out call. Not sure you can overturn that. The other two umpires are a pretty good patch away from first. So one out, and here's Ty Meisner. Good bunt by Ballinger, and I thought he had the base hit, but the umpire called him out, so Meisner will get up for the 5th time today. 0 for 4. He's grounded out 3 times, struck out once. Price is at second with 1 out. First pitch in there, strike 1. Apache faithful don't like it. And Garza steps off the mound for some reason. Get a call like that, you want to go right back at it. No balls and a strike. The pitch. Drops it right over the heart of the plate, strike 2. Garza checking the runner. Off the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, if you're Frank Phillips, you'd love to keep this thing right here. Garza's taken some time here. Last couple of pitches, he's walked around that mound. I don't know if there's an issue. He's kind of shaking his arm. Not sure what's going on there, but it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out, 1 aboard for the Apaches. The pitch. Missed inside. And, yeah, he's calling the dugout out to the mound. There's something wrong. Garza's not right, and he's asking the coach to come out and visit the mound. I could tell from up here something wasn't right. He's walked around. He's grabbing his left arm. You got to get him out of here. Yeah. He's stretching out his forearm, and something's not right. So this might be all for Josh Garza. I don't know. Pitch count got to be in the 80s, huh? 84, so that's going to be all for Garza. Boy, I hope he's okay. Hate to have that happen on his first outing of the year. 14 pitches in the inning. He's going to finish with 84. That's a pretty good extended outing for him. Did a really nice job of hanging donuts on the board. He's going to get a nice greeting from his team who's coming out halfway to the mound here to high-five him. But we'll let you know who the new pitcher is for Frank Phillips when we return. Well, shout out to Coach Balicki there. A foot of snow and sub-zero temperatures in Buffalo. Appreciate him checking in with Dr. Johnson to my left here up in the press box, enjoying a little a little heat. 7-4 is our score. The new pitcher for the Plainsmen is Robert Miles, right-hand sophomore from Phoenix City, Alabama. So Robert Miles, he'll have however many pitches he needs. As Josh Garza came out with a little tightness in his forearm, it looked like. I could tell something wasn't right. He actually called out Coach Garza to get him out of here because something wasn't right. I'll have to check in. We'll try to give you an update on what happened to him tomorrow. Hopefully he's good. Just a little tightness, hopefully, in that arm. Well, Meisner's going to step back in. A 2-2 count. 1 out and 1 aboard. Price is out at second. He walked to lead the inning off. Seth Ballinger laid down a bunt, and there was a collision at first base, and he kind of limped into the dugout after being down for a while. So that's where we stand. Meisner with a 2-2 count. Robert Miles, the pitch. Little tapper right back to the mound, and he'll drop it, and everybody's safe. That's an error. E1. So Robert Miles, that ball went right off the end of the bat. Ty Meisner, a spin job, and it hit Miles' glove and kind of spun away. And Miles could not keep his footing. And in the meantime, Meisner scooted down to first base. So Price went to third on the play. First and third, 1 out. The Apaches trying to add on to a 7-4 lead. And who steps up? Jacob Johnson. Dangerous at bat right here for Robert Miles. He got a base open. I would think about being very careful with Jacob Johnson here. He is 0 for 4, and that would mean he's due. Here's the pitch. Off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Johnson checking here on the wristband. You might send Meisner. You might do it. The only bad thing about sending him, if he actually gets the bag, is then Solero is going to be off the bag and less of a hole for the left-handed batting Johnson. We've seen him use the whole field, so not sure he's dependent on pulling the ball. There's an awful big hole on the right side of the infield for the left-handed batter. 3-hole. Two balls and no strikes. 1 out, 2 aboard. Apaches lead 7-4 in the 8th. Off the plate, 3-0. Well, maybe an unintentional, intentional walk here. I'd be tempted to let him go here. Got a 3-run lead with 1 out. A long fly ball will score a run. And Johnson draws the walk. What I meant by let him go is let Johnson swing it. And he draws the 1-out walk, and the bases are loaded. You got Price at third, Meisner at second, Johnson at first. Only 1 out for Fiver Trimble. Fiver 0 for 4. Fly out to center and 3 strikeouts. And the same might be said for Trimble here. He is due. And that was way short of home plate. About 56 feet. Leonette did well to keep it right there at the plate. 1 ball, no strikes to Fiver Trimble. Bases loaded. Only 1 out. Robert Miles would love a double play ball here. The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Healthy cut right there by Fiver. 1 ball, 1 strike. A big shout out to all the folks checking in on the live chat. Miani Tatis. I do not speak Spanish, so a couple of Spanish comments in there. 1 and 2 to Fiver. Robert Miles, the sophomore from Phoenix City, Alabama, trying to get the Plainsmen back in the dugout. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Ball got away. Play at the plate and safe. Ball gets away. And it's a run. So it's what it is, it's a strikeout and a wild pitch. Is what that is. And everybody, it's a strikeout, so Trimble is out. Everybody moves up 90 feet. The run comes home. It's 8-4. So 2 outs now. And here's Mike Morissette. Single to right his last time up. Apaches would love to get a couple more insurance runs. First pitch misses low, ball 1. 8-4. We're in the bottom of the 8th. The Apaches have just scored the first run since the 3rd inning. Both teams nothing but zeros until just a moment ago. The big right-hander, Robert Miles, going from the windup. Here's the 1-0. Good hack by Morissette. That's going to get back toward the cars. Already had Coach Rippenthal's wife had a windshield broken in this ball game tonight, so hoping she can get that fixed at a minimal cost here. I've had a few go through my windshield. Little looper in the left. Could be trouble. Zamora can't get it. 1 run's coming in. It's 9-4. Well, it's a little bloop on the field, but it's a line drive in the scorebook. Morissette will take it. Kind of scraps and claws his way back into things here. RBI single for Morissette. 9-4 Apaches. Pretty good pitch by Robert Miles. He got in on the hands of Morissette. But the big left-handed first baseman fought it off for an RBI single. Here's Jason Ballou. Single to center, RBI, and a run scored in the second. A home run to center and an RBI and a run scored in the third. Since then, a ground out to third and a strikeout. 2 for 4 today. Fly ball, center field, well hit. Back to center and off the fence. 1 run comes home. The second run's going to be sent home. A 2-run double for Ballou. And it's 11-4. Jason Ballou. Well hit ball to center field. 2 more RBIs for the DH. Morissette comes around to score, as does Trimble. I'm sorry, Morissette. Yeah, he did come home to score. Johnson came around to score. So far, 4 more runs for the Apaches, and they've opened this thing up 11-4. Well, there goes your save for Peyton Miller. Well, I don't know. We'll have to check the rules on that because I think you got to throw 3 innings to get an extended save if it gets to be like this. If the score had stayed the same, Miller was in line for a save, but I think now with a 7-run lead, I think that may go out the window. Right now, the winning pitcher would be Mitchell Lee in line for the win here. And Garza is going to be in line for the loss. Well, is it going to be Garza? 3, 2/3. When did he come in? Came in the 4th. Actually, I think Berthier is going to take the loss here. Should this score hold up? 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch. Just misses low. 2 balls and a strike. Eric Owen is the 8th Apache batter. We've had some long innings. It's been a while, but here we go again. Apaches have scored 3 runs in an inning, 4 runs in an inning twice. 2-1 pitch. In there for a strike. It's 2-2. Well, we'll have to sleep fast. 10:15 Central Time. Be back out of the ballpark before we know it. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strikeout, Eric Owen. And that will finally do it for the Apaches here in the 8th. But they score 4 runs on two hits. The big blow, a 2-run double by Ballou off the wall. And your new score for Mike Carter as we head to the 9th. 11-4 Tyler. Back in a minute on ApacheAthletics.com. And welcome back to Mike Carter Field. Jaron Burks has taken over for Seth Ballinger at second. So Burks now at second base. Peyton Miller back on the mound to try to close it out. Frank Phillips has left 8 base runners on base, 5 of them in scoring position. The Apaches have left 8 runners of their own, and 6 of those have been in scoring position. So 11-4 ball game, but it could have been worse on both sides of the ledger. So stepping in now is Tommy Tolv. Good hack by Tolv, straight back, strike 1. Miller is just throwing strikes here. Struck out the side in the 8th inning. Apache pitchers have struck out 15 batters. 0-1 pitch. Pop up. Shallow center. Johnson coming in and makes the catch. 2 outs, 2 hands until you're in the big leagues, fella. F8 if you're scoring at the house. There's 1 out here in the 9th. Here's Ricardo Leonette. 1 for 3. Did get hit by a pitch back in the 4th. Does have an RBI. And just like game 1 today, the Plainsmen jumped out to a 1-0 lead in this one. They actually led it 4-0. Oh, right off the back. And Miller lost the fastball, and that was right in the middle of that number 8. Not happy about that. They'll go down to first base. And there's 1 runner aboard with 1 out here in the 9th inning. Here's Yadier Medina. Couple of walks, strikeout and a ground out. He's 0 for 2. 11, 12, and 4 for the Apaches. 4, 3, and 2 for Frank Phillips. Breaking pitch just missed, ball 1. Peyton Miller, the sophomore from Bullard, just about 20 minutes from Tyler. Panola transfer. Pop up right field. And this is Fiver Trimble. And he'll squeeze that for the 2nd out. Well, you're down to your last out here. Here's Harold Solero, first baseman. He's gotten hit twice. Once with the bases loaded, got an RBI. And he walked, and he struck out. So he's 0 for 1. This is his 5th plate appearance. Miller going from the stretch. The pitch. Misses inside and high. 1 ball, no strikes. Be on the air tomorrow, 11:45 with dugout interviews with both coaches. on the pregame show. First pitch scheduled for 12 noon, a single 9-inning game, just the way baseball should be played. 1-0 pitch. Off the plate, 2 balls, no strikes. Apaches and Frank Phillips finishing up this 3-game series tomorrow. We're 1 out from this one being complete. 11-4 Apaches here in the top of the 9th. The pitch. That ball's well hit left field. Not going to be caught. Going to short hop the fence. And it's a 2-out double for Harold Solero. Boy, he crushed that one. Solero with a 2-out double, and Leonet goes to third. And stepping in is Nicholas Ramos. Ramos is 0 for 4. Fly ball to left, strikeout, a couple of ground outs. So Miller going from the windup, trying to finish this up after striking out the side in the 8th. Frank Phillips has kind of figured out Miller for the moment. Does not have a strikeout here in the 9th. Wind up in the pitch. Misses high, 1-0. We saw Miller getting ahead last inning. This inning, he's fallen behind most of the hitters. And they have made him pay. The 1-0. Ground ball to third. This is Meisner backing up. Throws it across. There's your ball game. 5-3 ends the ball game, and the Apaches sweep Frank Phillips on a Friday, February 1st. And your winning pitcher, this ball game finishes up at 10:21. Makes it 3 hours and 17 minutes long. Winning pitcher is Mitchell Lee. What a nice job in relief the sophomore from Orange, Texas did for the Apaches. Losing pitcher is going to be Tanner Bercier, the starter, the sophomore from Alberta, Canada. And Frank Phillips' record overall will drop to 0-2. The Apaches go to 6-0 on the year. So congrats to Coach Wren and the Tyler Apaches. As really good pitching job on the bullpen. Blatney struck out some guys but struggled early. And the bats came alive in the 2nd and 3rd inning. This game started with a 4-0 lead for Frank Phillips. As we went to the bottom of the 2nd, the Apaches put a 3-spot up, and it was 4-3. And then the Apaches, they score 4 runs in the 3rd inning to make it 7-4, and it stayed 7-4 until the 8th. They put 4 more up on the 8th inning. And your final line score, Tyler Apaches 11 runs on 12 hits. They commit 4 errors. Frank Phillips 4 runs on 3 hits. They commit 2 errors. Look at the box scores real quick and wrap this one up for the visitors from Frank Phillips. They do not have a multi-hit player in this one. As Zamora goes 1 for 4, scores a couple of runs. Leonet 1 for 3. Solero goes 1 for 2. And Mendez 1 for 3. So nobody in the multi-hit column for only 4 hits on the ball game for Frank Phillips. On the pitching side for Frank Phillips, Bercier went 2 2/3, gave up 7 runs. They were all earned, struck out 2, walked 1. Garza came on and pitched 4 2/3 innings pitched, really did a nice job, struck out 7, walked 4. So really nice job by Josh Garza. Certainly our best wishes to him. He came out with looked like to be a little tight arm. And then Robert Miles finished it up for the last 2/3 of an inning. Struck out 2, walked 1, gave up 3 runs and 2 hits. So here's your rundown for Frank Phillips. For the homestanding Apaches, box score, Seth Ballinger, another good game for Seth. He goes 3 for 5, 3 RBI and a double. And Morissette finally breaks out with a nice ball game. 3 for 4 with 2 runs scored and an RBI. Jason Ballou, another good game. 3 for 5, 4 RBIs and 2 runs scored. And those are your offensive stars of the game. My star is going to go to Jason Ballou, who goes 3 for 5 and 4 big RBIs and another home run. Long, towering shot to center field. On the pitching side of it for the Apaches, Jacob Blatney goes 3 2/3 innings, gives up 1 earned run, 4 runs total, 8 strikeouts, 2 walks for Blatney. And then it was Mitchell Lee for 3 1/3. Really a nice job in relief, and he will come away with the win. 4 strikeouts for Lee, 2 walks in 3 1/3. Peyton Miller pitched the last 2 innings. He struck out 3, walked none, did not give up a run, and gave up 1 hit. So that'll wrap things up from Mike Carter Field here in Tyler. This game went 3 hours and 17 minutes. Tomorrow's ball game, a single 9 starting at noon, will be on the air at 11:45. A big shout out to all of you who gave me some notes on the live chat feature and on the Remind text system. We'll be back on the air tomorrow, 11:45, single 9-inning game for the whole athletic department at Tyler Junior College. Athletic Director Chuck Smith, Kelsey Weeks, Sherry Hardwood, the whole gang back at WAG Gym. This is Dr. John Gross signing off for Mike Carter Field. Until tomorrow at 11:45. So long, everybody.